guys, so from the title, you all can already tell that I have a book review on R.J. Gonzales' book, Mundahlia. I am so excited to be finally sitting down and doing this video. I wanted to do it last month for you, but with NaNoWriMo going on, it was just crazy. And I just really want to do a good book review for RJ because his book was great, and I really want you guys to go check it out because he's one of us. You know, that's one reason to support him, and the book was freaking awesome. So I'm going to read for you the book synopsis and show you the cover. Renee thought going to live with her cousins in the city of Austin, Texas, while her parents rekindled their marriage on a 4-month-long cruise was a step in the right direction. When she makes a new quirky friend and stumbles upon a handsome nude young man named Jet in the enveloping forest surrounding her cabin, she thought she was only moving forward. Well, she was wrong. Jet and his clan appear human, just like anyone else, but take a closer look and you will see that they are indeed Mundahlians. Legendary hybrid beings born with both human and animal qualities that have been kept a heavily guarded secret throughout time, until now. They are taking refuge in our world, fleeing from their hidden homeland of Mundahlia and its aging, power-hungry king, who has set up a game between his many children. Whoever can bring them back to their world so they can be tried and executed shall receive the crown once he passes. Upon finding their hideout, Barne, one of the king's sons, on a hunt to win the crown, sees an opportunity to shatter the blossoming relationship, lure the family back to Mundahlia, and frame Rennie for the murder of a Mundahlian, thus breaking the pact signed long ago with the humans and reigniting an ancient war for the majority of land and control, a triple deed that will surely earn him the power he craves. In the wake of his devious acts, which leaves Rennie heartbroken and injured, Barne whisks her away to Mundahlia to be convicted of the crime he forged. Jet, with the help of his family and friends, sets out to stop the trial and rescue Rennie before it is too late. Will they make it in time, or will a new era begin? A Mundahlian era. Okay, so it's no secret that I suck at reviews, so by reading the synopsis, that was just the best way that I could explain the book to you. But there are a couple of things that I want to touch on. So the first thing I want to talk about are the characters. The characters in this book were absolutely amazing, and my favorite character, one of my top favorite characters, is actually Barne, the bad guy, and it's because he was just so, you just had to hate him. He was just so awful and skeezy and mean, and that's what a bad guy should be, and I think that RJ was really going for you to hate him and find him an appalling, awful character, which I did, and I think that shows a lot of skill for him to really make you hate a character, not just dislike. I hated him. But I also really, really liked Rennie. She was also really well written, and I really connected with her. I think I connected with her because she was so real and she had so many different sides. On one hand, she can be loving and caring, but on the other hand, if you piss her off, she could rip your head off. She could just tell you off and take up for herself. And I love that about her, and I think I saw a lot of myself in her. Another thing I want to mention about the characters in this book, I really feel like RJ just knew his characters and understood them. A lot of times when I write myself, I feel like I might put something in about a character that's totally uncharacteristic for them. I didn't find that in RJ's writing. I really feel like he knew his characters and he knew what he was writing. So the second thing I want to talk to you about is his originality. First of all, I am sick of like werewolves and zombies and vampires and ghosts and shapeshifters falling in love with ghosts and ghosts falling in love with zombie werewolves. I'm just kind of sick of that whole thing, you know what I mean? And RJ's book was just refreshing. It was just totally different from all of that. He created this whole land of Mundahlia and these creatures, and I don't know, just there are so many little different parts of his book that are completely original. For example, there are these things in his book, I don't know how to say the name, but they're sort of like angels, and within them there is a hidden pearl, and if you get their pearl and you swallow it, you kind of get an ability, sort of like a magical power. And the Mundahlian royal family actually imprisons these creatures and eats them alive at a feast, and the prize is their pearl. And I mean, that was just so original and creative, and I just can't even wrap my head around how you would come up with something like that. I loved the whole original. I mean, it was just very original. I just love the whole thing. He did a great, great job in creating this world and creating these characters and these creatures and everything. The third reason I like this book is the cover is absolutely gorgeous, and I've said it before, I am a cover whore, and I think it's beautiful, and it has purple, my favorite color, so yeah. And the fourth thing I want to mention is RJ's writing style. RJ just has like a rhythm and a way of writing that keeps you interested and keeps you moving forward in his writing and not getting bored. I don't think I was bored a single minute in his book. He just always has something going on. There's all these little backstories. There's sort of a love story. There's another love story. And there's this whole story with the King and Bane and Jet and how they're all kind of connected. It's just really well written, and it just has a good flow to it. And RJ just did a really good job getting it on paper and getting it out. And like I said, it just keeps you going and moving forward. I can't even tell you. I think it took me 2 or 3 days to read this book, and I sat up late at night reading it on whatever I could, my phone, my Nook, my computer, just because I didn't want to stop reading. So for an author to keep your interest like that, I think that shows real talent, because it's hard to keep somebody's interest, sitting there reading page after page. And he just has that. He just has that ability. He just has that, it just makes you want to keep going and reading and finding out what happens next. So I think that pretty much does it for my review of this book. I didn't do it justice because there is so much more in this book, and it's just so much better and more magical than I can ever explain to you. It's just worth reading and getting into. And I think I'm going to do maybe a little bit of a giveaway. Look for an update video on that. I'm going to check with RJ, make sure it's okay. I don't know how that stuff kind of works. And I also wanted to touch on the fact that a lot of people are comparing it to Twilight. I kind of get a few little... I kind of get how some people say that. You have Jet, and you think he's a werewolf at first, and his family, and then you have this girl who's in love with, and I can kind of see how people would think Twilight, but don't. It's nothing like Twilight. It's so much better. If I had to choose between Mundahlia and Twilight, I would want to go with Mundahlia, because I think there's potential for that to go somewhere. And, Twilight was good. Don't get me wrong. I love Twilight and all that. But Mundahlia is just so much different, and the characters have more depth. And it's so much more exciting, I think. And the world that he's created is just so much more interesting. So don't read that review or those reviews that compare it, because it's not anything like that. It's a lot better, in my opinion. And for my rating, I give it 5 gold stars, A+++, 2 thumbs up, a golden ticket, all that good stuff. RJ knows I love him, and I love this book, and there's a second one coming out soonish, I hope. I can't wait for it to come out. And so yeah, guys, I hope you pick it up. I'm going to leave all the links down below, and RJ and where you can buy it and all that good stuff. So if you do read it, go ahead and go over to Goodreads and give it a good review. And I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you check out his books, and I will see you guys later. Bye.